Hi, welcome to another edition of GH Dirty Deeds. I'm James Lodge, your host, and thank you for watching our show. I brought the show back for this new season, and it's been very successful. I appreciate everybody's comments and tuning in and views and downloads. I appreciate it so much. I have a new episode for us today, featuring, as you saw in the title, Alexis Davis, Miss Natasha, who's a cat sign. This show, someone's asking me, well, what is this show? So this show started by Lucretia Lyon years ago as another spinoff to the GH world, to the GH Report that was on AfterBuzz TV. It's just kind of like their faults, the things that characters do, their faults, their dirty deeds. We talk about what they did and what they done did that was not so positive. They kind of highlight that on this episode. And so I've decided to bring back the show, for this new season where I'm the host, and either I interview some of the actors who played these characters, or I spotlight some of the characters' pasts. And so thank you so much. We do have GH Mini Spotlight. That is on GLG Media also. That is out on Sunday. Sometimes it's an interview with a celebrity from the show, or it's a recap, the week that was in Port Charles. Me and various people, including Frank Moran, Carla Renata, and Lucretia Lyon, talk about what happened on General Hospital. So that is out on Sundays on our soap Sundays of GLG Media. And then there's also a GH Mini Spotlight audio podcast, which sometimes the same one as that, and sometimes it's something totally different, but it's just audio. So those are all the GH fun things. GH Report is no longer, AfterBuzz TV AfterBuzz TV the way it was is no longer. GH Report is no longer there, so that's gone. We want to thank you so much for tuning into that. We just kind of transferred some of GH Report onto GH Mini Spotlight. If that makes any sense. But this is GH Dirty Deeds, and we're talking about Alexis Davis. I'm going to list her, actually 12. Now, if I miss some, let me know. I'm sure I have. But I'm picking 12 that I know for sure had happened. And we're going to talk about those. So we're going to start from the beginning and then work our way up till today. And a couple of them, they're accidents. A couple of them are questionable, or somebody thinks it's a dirty deed, but it may not be. So it's a little bit of both. So this is all in good fun. We love Nancy Lee Grahn, who plays Alexis Davis. She just celebrated 25 years on the show. So congratulations, Nancy Lee Grahn. She's also very much an advocate and activist online for rights. I love her. And she's also left-handed. So Nancy Lee Grahn, if you're watching this, I'd love to have you on my left-handed show, talking about left-handedness. That's all we talk about for like 15 minutes. Love to have you on this show too, but that's another story. Okay. One, she tried to make her cousin, Stefan, believe that his long-lost love, Catherine Bell, was his half-sister, Natasha. As you find out later, she's Natasha. Luke called her that all the time. But she was the half-sister, the daughter of Mikos Kasline and his mistress, Kristen, who was an opera singer. But Catherine Bell, of course, was played by Mary Beth Evans. Stefan was played by Stephen Nichols. I've met both, who were a famous couple on Days of Our Lives as Patch and Kayla. They became a famous couple as Stefan and Catherine. And then later on, now they're back on Days of Our Lives. So kind of strange. But that was her first kind of thing, our introduction to her. Around that same time, she mistakenly pushed Catherine Bell off a parapet. What's a parapet? I don't know. Some kind of balcony. The target was actually Helena. She was trying to get Helena back for killing her mother. But Catherine did survive the fall. 3, she was a runaway bride to Ned. They stayed friends. She had married Jax, Ned married Chloe. There was a whole big foursome thing going on about for some money or whatever. And then they got divorced. It fell through, and then she was supposed to marry Ned, runaway bride. They had some scenes recently, which is kind of nice to see them have scenes recently. 4, this is a debatable one. Some people say it's dirty deeds. Some say whatever. She became Sonny's lawyer. I had to put that in there. It was kind of fun. She also had a one-night stand with Sonny, which resulted in Christina. He was married to Carly. Catherine and Carly are his names. Married to Carly, so that wasn't good. And which was also, I thought was a very interesting choice, because she was kind of this neurotic, tightened buttoned up lawyer, and Sonny got her. She kept Christina's parentage, another dirty deed, from Sonny for a long time because of what his profession was. It did come out later. Again, accidentally, she just accidentally does this. pushed Luis Alcazar to his death. She faked the ID, which I make sure I remember this, dissociative identity disorder, to avoid jail. She had a scandal with Mayor Floyd, and she had slept with him. Alexis, driving, runs over Kiefer and kills him, which years later comes back to haunt her with Kiefer's sister, comes back and tries to kill her. Kiefer was the abuser to Christina, was beating her up. Some say a Dirty D is her dating Jerry Jacks. I like Jerry Jacks. He's not a good guy, but I do like the character. Her drinking nearly killed Danny, her grandson. And most recently, some would say she boinked Neil to death. But that was all an accident. And apparently, and it really had nothing to do with her, he was injected. This happened on her watch. So I don't call it dirty deed. Just like it was just they were doing the dirty, but it wasn't dirty. So those are Alexis Davis's dirty deeds. So if you remember all those, you forgot some of those. If you didn't know about some of these, good. Here you go. It's a little history lesson. There you go. You look back. But happy 25th anniversary to Nancy Lee Grahn. So I felt like I need to do something just that's kind of fun. And I hope she sees this because I love her. I love you, Nancy Grahn. I have met Nancy Lee Grahn. We met at the Emmys several years ago. She was so gracious. We talked about Santa Barbara, which is my show, where she won her Emmy. But I'd love to have her on the show. It's about left-handedness. Just like that happens. Everyone, please follow us at JLJ Media all across the boards. Every streaming service, every online platform is JLJ Media. On Twitter, it's JLJ Media 1. Because somebody has JLJ Media and won't give it to me. YouTube, JLJ Media. Like, subscribe, and follow. Follow my channels. I have a lot of great stuff. I have a lot of great soapy content. Sunday is Soap Sundays. Wide Army Spotlight. Born Beautiful Mini Spotlight. GH Mini Spotlight. Forever and a Day after show is now on hiatus until next season. Well, actually, we'll play back for the Christmas episode until next season. Some new shows are coming up on the pike, like Mistletoe Road, Fairview Heights, and Manchester Avenue. Those are coming. So we got a lot of good soapy goodness happening on JLJ Media. Please, everyone, don't do any dirty deeds.